Welcome back to Whilton Mill for the next part of the programme. It's Easy Lights next for the seniors, and a brief summary of the B final. It was the 220 Jay Hudman who took the victory on the road, but after a technical infringement he dropped back 5 positions after the stewards decided he had gained positions unfairly, and therefore the victory was handed to the man behind him on the road, the 229 of Jamie Falvey. So well done to him. We move across now to the Senior Lights A race, which is coming up straight away. Very tight grid for this one. Kieran McCullough and Sam Massey on the front row of the grid, with Owen Genman and Patrick Lay on row 2. Brandon Williams and Kieran Gordon line up side by side, with Ben Yeomans and Jack Golding on row 4. Plenty of drivers to keep an eye on working their way through the field. Sam Dimolo in 11th could be a strong shout. And towards the back, you could even put a little cheeky bet on Richard Evans and Oakley Smith charging their way forward. Away we go. Very nice start then from Kieran McCullough, who goes straight into the lead from second position. And there's contact at the back. The nose cone has come off. That's Ken Churchill's race done. That was a very dramatic moment. Through Christmas corner. It looks okay for everybody else. They just about get through without incident, but into second place has come Owen Genman. So already there's been big movement at the front and through Ashby. Everybody getting very racy. It's a very competitive grid, the top senior category. And Kieran McCullough, the Masters champion of 2009 and the Club 100 sprint champion 3 years ago, he has been an absolute legend in British karting at this level. What a move on the inside there from Owen Genman. He goes for broke on the first lap, dives for the inside line, up on the curbs, as happy-go-lucky as you like. Watch this. Late decision this. Kisses the brake pedal and zoom over the curbs. Nicely done. That was a beautifully executed overtaking move. Owen Genman, he's got a great characteristic. He's actually stated that he's running out of excuses not to win, and he's also said that he vows he's got to get married the day he wins a final. Well, you might be starting to get those wedding vows in order, because you're looking pretty good at the moment, it has to be said. Leading then, Owen Genman, McCullough in second, then Massey, Lays in fourth from Gordon, Dimolo up to 6th place. Great work there. And that's Williams in the 6 behind him. Golding in the 232 is just behind him as well. And then we have the 214 of Ben Yeomans ahead of Michael Naylor the 8 and the 194 of Phil Ingram. Just looking in the back of the field, you could just about make out the 202. Orange helmet is Newman. Orange bodywork behind the 218 of Jake Wellesby. Up the inside, very nice move at the Christmas corner. Kieran McCullough goes to the lead. Now, did he make it stick on the outside? Because it was easy to drift, but he does hold on to it. So McCullough takes the lead, and into third goes Patrick Lay, the 2009 Easykart Junior Champion. He moves up into third position. The man who was second in the Senior Light Easykart World Championships a few years back. This is a man who is unstoppable once he's on the march, and he has put in some brilliant moves there to move himself up into third position, but he's got a chasing Massey hot on his tail. And in 5th position, I think that's Dimolo. Dimolo has moved up another place, so he's up to 5th position from 11th on the grid. 6th place is up through the field comes Dimolo, but he's still under pressure. That looks to me like Gordon trying to make his way back through. Big wobble from Genman as again he tries to get back on terms with McCullough. But Dimolo, what an amazing career he has had in the World Championships. He was 4th in 2010, 3rd in 2011 and 4th last year. So he is consistently one of the stars of that discipline. And it shows in a race like this. He is absolutely marching through the field, going through like a pair of scissors through wet newspaper. He is making his march to the front very quickly indeed. And it's all going to be about how these guys at the front stop him coming forward. But he's up to 5th already. 2, 3, 4 in 6th place is Gordon. Williams in the 6 is still very much a part of that group as well. Lap 5 of the 20 laps in the Easy Lights. And this is definitely going to be about timing and consistency. Patrick Lay in 3rd position, watching the every move of Kieran McCullough and Lay, and into the position goes Dan Walden, moving up into the top 10. 4th in his first senior race, so the talent was evident right from the word go with Dan Walden, and he is charging through again. Very nice to see, with some very clean executed manoeuvres as well. They're well timed, these driving moves. Ben King, back in the championship, last raced in Easykart 2 seasons ago, but he was 4th in the Worlds in 2009, so it's clear that this guy has definitely got it in his genes to be quick. He's back up to speed very quickly, it has to be said, and it's good to see him back in the championship. You can just pick him out as he comes through the picture now. Blue suit, white helmet, 14th position, 176. So he's still in the thick of the pack. Genman makes the move. Banzai on the inside line. Beautiful overtake. But McCulloch is not done yet. He is swarming all over the back of him through Inkermans. Back to the inside line. There's a little bit of jostling, but Genman has nailed it on the apex. He parks the kart perfectly in the middle of the road and says, which way are you going to go, sunshine? Left, right, no chance whatsoever. And Lay makes his move up to second place. Does he get through? Yes, he does. And up in the air, he is not happy about it. McCulloch, what are you playing at, boy? And through to second place now has come Massey. It's all kicking off now as Massey gets through to second. Lay is third and McCulloch is fourth position, but he is not a happy boy. So great racing at the front of the field. It's very close. Do-or-die manoeuvres around the circuit and some magic overtakes. And that has given Genman a little bit of a breathing space up front. Oh, it got too close for comfort into the Christmas corners, and that's Brandon Williams. He got spat out the side, the 17-year-old. Third in the junior class in 2012. He's not going to get anywhere near that today. He manages to get it back. Now let's have a look at how that happened. Just a simple overtake. The problem is the rear of the kart is wider than the front, and it's easy to misjudge how close the wheels are going to be together on the overtake. Just a little bit too... not too much of a gap on that particular occasion. It was a perfect move, just got a little bit too close to the rear wheel of his opponent. What a shame. So there is Ben King, in fact, in the 176, closing in on the 212. That is Richard Moxham trying to move up another place. And that little incident has actually mixed up the pack a little bit. It's got a bit of a gap in the middle of that field, but Patrick Lay still attacking for third position. Just watching the 212 come through again behind Ben King. Moxham there, trying to move up into the top 10 a bit more firmly. 129, second position. That is Sam Massey closing up on the leader, Owen Genman. Kieran McCulloch, fourth position. Patrick Lay in front of him. And where is King? Still battling with Moxham. I think Moxham has actually got back through there. So a nice little overtaking move on the... that's got to be into Ashby, I would have thought. And now Massey has caught up with the number 3, Owen Genman. Maybe you might want to put the wedding plans on hold because you've got a huge amount of opposition now in the 129 of Massey. As the field continues to battle on the inside, is this going to be nice and tidy? Easily done. He set that move up, going through Fine Lady and down the Manuels Bank. That was a sweet overtake, and Genman will be desperate to get back in front into Ashby. They come together, and it's gone terribly wrong. They both recover, but into the lead goes Patrick Lay. Let's look at that again. Genman makes the move. Massey turns in. That was two racing drivers going for the same corner. Oh dear, that was a bit Hamilton and Rosberg, wasn't it? Slightly clumsy, but both drivers wanting the position. Nothing too malicious in that one. That's just motor racing. Patrick Lay takes the lead then. Kieran McCulloch back into second position. This is a get out of jail free card for McCulloch. He's got a great chance. Jack Golding in the 232 just going through the shot. Currently third in the championship, 18 years of age. And this is an opportunity for him and the rest of the field to recover. Genman, it has to be said, has recovered in fourth position. So that's pretty good going considering he was bouncing around all over the place. Tucked in there behind, that's Brandon Williams, I think, in the 6. That's in. No, sorry, it's Dimolo. Dimolo in third position in the 7. So a nice little battle between Lay and McCulloch with Dimolo up to third position from 11th on the grid. Just goes to prove if you get on with things, if you keep your head while all about you are losing theirs, you might just pop up on the podium, my son. And he's looking very good in third place. So once again, the 4 of Kieran McCulloch hassling Patrick Lay, who's had a few choice manoeuvres of his own to get himself up into that first position. He allowed the collision to happen, and he could very easily have got collected in it. He was very careful. And now Genman is in danger of losing another place. God, he shuts the door very nicely on the 232. Sam Massey gets through as well. So poor Jack Golding loses a couple of positions in the attempt to try and get past another driver. Down to 6th place then goes Golding. So it's Lay, McCulloch, Dimolo, Genman, Massey, Golding. That's the top 6 at the moment. 7th place is the 214. That is Ben Yeomans. So Yeoman's looking strong in 7th position. He's got a few drivers to keep behind him, while at the same time going for the move. And 4th position is an absolute onslaught with so many drivers trying to get onto the tail of Massey in 5th position, and the man in front of him, Owen Genman. Great battling through the field. Now let's check on the progress of Brandon Williams. He's in the mid-pack, but he's at the front of a train, so he's still trying to come through. Good work there from Brandon. He's got through several drivers. Patrick Lay still hanging on to that lead from Kieran McCulloch. Dimolo in third, and then this absolute snake. It's almost a trolley train, isn't it? With Massey now at the front. He's got through. So Ben Yeomans in 7th place. Multiple Club 100 endurance champion. Trying to get himself into the top 6. And he's got a great opportunity to do just that at the moment. He's up to 7th place still. Trying to knock on the door of the 232 of Jack Golding, almost literally. And he's got a challenging trio behind him. So up to 11th position has come Ben King on his return. So he's got a chance of a top 10. And here goes Yeomans on the inside. Does he? No, he thinks better of it. But he's got to get on with it, because right on his tail, he's got the number 8 of Michael Naylor. So Naylor's got a chance to come through. Now, can Naylor make a move on Yeomans? He's got to time it right as well, because they're right in the middle of the pack. Genman's got quite a lot of work to do to get back on terms with Massey, but then comes the 232 of Golding, then Yeomans, then Naylor in the 8. And this lead battle is getting closer. 175 Patrick Lay in the 4, Kieran McCulloch, very close together. And at the tail of this little battle, that's the 241. So that is Dan Walden, who we said earlier got himself neatly into the top 10. He's in 10th position. And now, how about this? Patrick Lay is going defensive. He takes to the right-hand side of the circuit. It's time to defend. 2nd place, Kieran McCulloch is swarming all over the back of him. Look at that. Straight over to the right side of the circuit. That's how you position the kart to stop your opponent coming through. You go straight for the middle of the circuit. You don't hug the right, you don't hug the left. You park it right in the middle. And under braking, you make that kart as wide as a bus. You're not going to let anybody come through under braking. Richard Moxon there in the 212 we just saw go through, in running in about 12th position, heading another long train of karts. Great battling through the field, and almost a mistake there for Elliot Stanley at the tail end. He almost chucked it into the chicken house. Oh, Yeomans is pushed wide. Now, I don't know whether that was a physical push or whether that was just a racing incident, but Yeomans got spat out of the final turn, up to 3rd position. Massey makes the move and gets past Dimolo. Very nicely done. Now, what can Sam Dimolo do in response? He makes another bid for Ashby. Can't quite get through. Now you can see Dimolo's got an onboard on the front of that kart, but we're not actually able to pick up any pictures from it, because we've had so much vibration on the karts this time round. So we're going to have to come up with a technical solution for next time out to just give you a proper indication as to just how intense this is. But I think you can see that for yourselves. Now, looking back, just saw the 239 Matthew Pearce getting involved in a nice little battle as well, just on the outskirts of the top 10. And we've got 5 to go. And there are battles all through the field. For 1st, for 3rd, for 5th, for 7th and for 9th. It is an absolute onslaught of battles. And I'm desperately trying to pick a decent direction to look in, because there is so much going on. Still, the number 4, Kieran McCulloch, attacks Patrick Lay for the lead. And behind them, Massey is under intense pressure from Dimolo. Behind them, Genman is having a great fight for 5th position. Let's have a look at who is... Yep, Genman's still there in 5th position, battling it out with Golding in the 232. And then the battle for 7th place, as Naylor has got past the 234 of Kieran Gordon. So Yeomans has dropped back quite a long way now. I think Yeomans has dropped back into 9th position. So he's still looking good for top 10. And there's a black and white flag out. That's for Michael Naylor. So Naylor is the latest one to be given a warning. Now, I don't know whether that's because of what he did to Yeomans, if it was Yeomans. But he's battling it out with Gordon for the moment. Lay just hanging on to that lead for the moment. McCulloch right there in 2nd place. It's difficult to know at this level, with it being so competitive and so racy, if the black and white flag is for exceeding track limits, which it certainly can be nowadays, or for driving incidents. But Michael Naylor carrying on, still looking very neat and tidy in that battle with Kieran Gordon. Gordon hopping over the curb on the outside as Yeomans defends from Ben King, who is now up into 10th position. So great racing from King. And still, Patrick Lay holds off McCulloch, but look out behind you, boys. You've got a challenger. Sam Massey is closing up to try and go for higher than 3rd place, and with 3 laps to go here, there could be a 3-man battle for the victory. Oh, just a little bit close on the start-finish line for those 2 outside the top 10. They bang wheels in a similar way to how Brandon Williams did earlier on. The difference is Williams went straight off the grass, and now he's having to fight his way back through. He's done fairly well. Not far away from the top 10, but I think he's going to run out of time to actually get there. Massey chasing down the leading pair, Patrick Lay and Kieran McCulloch. And now Naylor and Gordon are chasing down the two men in front of them, Genman and Golding. So great battles all the way through this field as we go into the final 2 laps of racing, and the sky is getting darker here. I wonder if we're about to get a slight sprinkling of rain to spice things up in the last 2 laps. It's certainly getting darker. Here comes Naylor on the inside of Gordon. Very nicely, on the inside of Golding. So Naylor gets through. Now, does that mean that, well, I think the 2.32 of Golding must have lost a huge bag of time there. I wonder if we tried to make a move on Genman, lost ground, and that gave Naylor an opportunity to get through, because he was battling with Kieran Gordon, wasn't he? So yellow flags are out. Yellow flags are out. Now that's up towards Christmas, so somebody's gone off at the Christmas corner. We'll try and see if we can pick that up, but the leading trio are having an amazing squabble. Looking back to 6th position, the 2.34 holds 6th place. That's Kieran Gordon. Now I wonder, has Michael Naylor gone off? Final lap, can't see him in 6th position. Kieran Gordon is in 6th place, so we haven't picked it up yet from the cameras. I wonder if there's been a slight issue there, but now it's battle time. Sam Massey, the fastest man on the track. He's up to 3rd position, right on the back of Kieran McCulloch, and he is going for the move. McCulloch is under massive pressure. He defends valiantly while trying to close in on Patrick Lay. I think that little manoeuvre has given Patrick Lay the victory here. He's got 2 or 3 kart lengths already. You're never going to come back from there, but McCulloch is having to defend valiantly from Massey. Dimolo is in 4th ahead of Genman. And Gordon, oh, Massey's going to try and make his move on the inside. There's a little bit of contact, but he just gets out of the move in time before there's a melee. And into 1st position, he's dominated this second half of the race. Patrick Lay takes the win. 2nd is McCulloch from Massey in 3rd. Brilliant work. And Sam Dimolo recovers to 4th position in front of Owen Genman, with Gordon in 6th from Ben Yeomans, Ben King, Dan Walden and Richard Moxham. Magnificent motor racing at Whilton Mill. More like that next time, please.
Started on the front row, came 3rd. Just talk us a little bit about your race and that little punt off you had.
Well, definitely felt like we had the pace to win it. Dropped back a bit at the start. I mean, my side of the grid didn't make the best of starts, but slotted in. It was going really well. Kart felt really good, started to come on. Managed to work my way through, and I led for a single corner. And then Owen, unfortunately, sort of had a bit of a tangle with me. That dropped me right back down to 7th. It seems to have done a bit of damage to the kart as well. It wasn't quite right afterwards, but I managed to sort of settle back into it, work my way up, and finish 3rd, which is really good for the championship. Bit of a shame not to win, because I felt like I had the pace to, but overall pretty happy.
It's a good race. It's a little bit bumpy at times. Got knocked a couple of times down the pack, but yeah, everyone was bumping everyone a little bit. Still a good race overall. Enjoyed it. I've only been racing part-time this year. The club have asked me to do more of an ambassadorial role this year, race part-time, so it was good to come back in this time out and get a good result. The second was a good result and a good day out.
Yeah, it was a close race all round. I knew going into it we had the pace to potentially win it from the pre, but it was just a case of getting through the first few laps really, because we have quite a lot of carnage this weekend, especially around Whilton. But no, once I think I was into about 4th position after 5th lap, and had to get past Kieran in order to pull down Sam and Owen, which she did down into Chapman's, which, as far as I'm concerned, it's a clean manoeuvre. I don't know, he's complaining a bit, but that's his problem. No, that was good. Then Sam and Owen slightly putting out on me, but I knew I had the pace later on in the race, and they came together down at the elbow, of which I managed to just nick through past Owen. The rest of the race, I didn't have quite enough pace to pull out, but I knew Kieran was close behind, and he was very close, especially around the boot section where it tightened up, but I knew I had to pace up on the quick corners, and I changed the flex just before the race in order to have the speed up into the hairpin where I needed to overtake, so that definitely helped. Overall though, it was a really good race, and especially it was so close. It was all about planning where I was going to overtake, find the weaknesses of other drivers, and reduce where I was slower. So.
Brilliant racing. Sam Massey at the top of the championship table then, and after a great battle with many drivers in the field, he'll be happy to still be on top. Owen Genman 2nd place, Jack Golding in 3rd, Michael Naylor 4th from Kieran McCulloch, and Sam Dimolo fighting on to a brilliant finish and 6th position in the championship after all that hard work. That'll be a very nice reward. There's plenty more to come from that championship at the season finale, where Sam Massey will be hoping to put this championship to bed and become the champion of 2014. Mathematically though, it's not over for Owen Genman, so anything can happen in the championship finale. Next up, it's the Easy Juniors. Can Esme Hawkey wrap up a dominant weekend here at Whilton Mill?